Well, hello everybody, and what's going on? My name is Sir Medieval, and welcome to some Legends of Aria. Today we're going to be going into the fray. I'm basically just mining and smithing my butt off over here. I'm pretty much like a non-combative character at the moment because I've always loved, for some reason, when it comes to these sandbox MMOs, can't get off my horse. I don't know why, but I tend to love the crafting system and gathering system. It just feels so fulfilling for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I wanted to do the same thing here as well. Now, there were some changes to this game made at the last minute and things of that nature in terms of the PvP. So right now it's pretty much just whenever you go out to gather and craft, you really have not much to worry about. It feels a lot different. I kind of wish that they had actually kept the PvP in the game, like open world wise, but now it's just restricted to certain areas. But there are private servers, so if you do want to have that experience still, you can actually join one of those, and they should be able to hopefully have that open world PvP experience for people that still want it. But anyway, for me, I'm always about the official servers, so without further ado, we're on Ember Moon right now, and I'm trying to get my smithing up. I'm at 51 right now. I really need to get out of this area. It's too loud over there. This is more my speed over here. Yeah. That's nice. Oh, yeah. Okay, so right now what I've been doing, and the main thing to do when it comes to crafting, is you want to make sure that you're always leveling up as much as you possibly can. Always gathering, of course, always crafting as much as you can. But a really good thing to do is to also get work orders. A little fancy man over there named Adam, he's the metalsmith. He provides you with work orders that you can use to craft certain items. You get money, and you can also get recipes through that method as well. Now, I went out earlier and I found somebody who was selling a bunch of recipes. I don't know what this guy was doing, but he probably was one of the guys that has like 6 accounts going at once. I've only got one extra one going at once, and they're actually sitting in the tavern playing some music. You might see them later, might not, but anyway, that is a big thing of these kinds of games. When it comes to multi-boxing, that is something that you'll find very commonly in these kinds of games. More than likely, this will be a little bit of an easier one to do it in, because being third person, or isometric rather, might be a little easier to manage, and then also not having open world PvP, at least in the official server, might be a little safer in that regard. Now, you still can die to mobs, and then if you do die to mobs, there's a chance that your stuff will all drop on the ground. But as long as you're careful, then you really have nothing to worry about for the most part. But anyway, for me, what I'm aiming to do is I want to definitely get up to that point to being able to craft a lot of different weapons and armor, and I want to get guildies too. If I don't know what guilds are recruiting yet per se. I got a lot of iron in my inventory. I also have a horse that has packages on, or saddlebags on it, but we'll get to that in a second. That was pretty expensive. But, you know, that's the name of the game for me, at least. Someone just dropped the iron warhammer. I'm going to grab that. Thank you. All right. Wonder who made that. Oh, it looks like Roz did. Okay. Yeah, I bought a couple recipes from a person earlier that was out in the world selling them. You can actually get land plots and house deeds, but they are very expensive. I don't know how much a full plat is yet, just one plat. Pretty sure that it's just 10,000 gold, but I've tried to look up this information and it doesn't seem to be easily accessible, or I'm just blind. More than likely the latter. But anyway, I'm trying to get my way up there, and I've been trying to burst out these work orders as best as I can, but it gets tough. It gets very tough. I'm guildless right now, so just taking things slow. But my attributes are going up quite nicely. Finally just started bringing down the intelligence. That's great. We're going to be dumb as a doornail after this. Surprisingly, I've got 11 attack. That looks like it went up, actually. That's pretty good to see. What I'm aiming for is to create the higher quality picks as well, like the tools. Right now, I think I'd be able to, if I wanted to craft maybe the cobalt ones, but I have to check again. I'm at 50 blacksmithing right now, so I'm definitely able to craft gold things, but in terms of the cobalt, I have to take another look at that. Now, in terms of the pets, you'll see a lot of, you know, horses and just random animals like giant rats like that going around. A lot of times what happens is when people try to train up their taming, you'll get a lot of animals out in the world that just say like release pets. And also, you'll get a lot of people that just come over to places like this and just give horses away. Actually, this horse specifically, it was given to me for free by somebody who was just giving them away in town. You know, you really get some nice people like that for sure. And the saddlebags that are on them, I had to buy those from somebody who was crafting them. Those are in pretty high demand right now because as a gatherer, having about 400 extra pounds of space is very, very good. And you can also have as many pets as you can really hold, so... Whereas like the sky's the limit basically when it comes to that pretty much. So if I were to get like 4 or 5 horses, I could have all saddlebags on them, and then I could just basically carry a whole entire armory just right behind me. The pet system actually works pretty well too. They follow you around. You can command them as well for the most part. You can also do chat commands. You can type. It's kind of like EverQuest in that sense, where if you type certain things, you can get certain things to happen. And especially what Pantheon's going for as well. But you'll have to excuse me, I'm a little tired this evening. Whew, okay. But I've just been mining my butt off, and I usually get a surplus of ore, a surplus of iron, and then I go ahead and start hammering these bad boys out. In terms of what I can make so far, let me just take another look here. So, obsidian, I do have the recipe for that. Oh, I actually don't have the recipe for cobalt. Well, I can make it, but I need the recipe for it. The ironic part too is that I do have recipes for things like the katanas, the sabers, the large axes. The great axe I don't have just yet, but I want to get that one too. And then I went and got the quarterstaff. I already had the war mace and the maul too. These ones I don't have just yet. That looks pretty good though, for sure. The spear I can make now. That's a new one. That's going to be really good. And then also I can make armor, of course, which I could start trying to craft some scale helmets. I definitely should. See if we can hammer that out a little bit. I'm trying to be good about when I actually start trying to craft this stuff. I typically try to do it only when I'm 2 points above, or at least 5 points above where it's supposed to be. Because if you don't do that, then you get a lot of cases like this where you start losing a bunch of materials. So that's kind of when it becomes a problem, because then you start wasting a ton of stuff that you could have potentially used for a better reason. So I just want to get one. I just want one. I just want to have a scale helmet so I can look cool. Because I'm probably not going to have any body armor on as much as I want some. At least until we get to the end. At level 55 blacksmithing, I will be able to create the scale armor, so I'm looking forward to that one. But come on, man. Now this game also has a pretty simplistic crafting system when it comes down to it. Some games like Mortal Online, for instance, which I absolutely fell in love with, that one had a pretty intricate crafting system. I absolutely love the way that one worked. How you can mix and match different materials to create different results. That was also always amazing to me. There's also other games coming out that might be mirroring a little bit of Mortal Online. Maybe next year they might be going into alphas, but they were recently announced at the very least. Oh my god, I got it! See, there we go. Finally. I didn't even go up in skill. That looks pretty sick. I could wear that for a while. I dig that. Alright. I'm loving it. Alright, so I'm going to just go ahead and keep on hammering a little bit more of this out here. Let's see. I've only got a few pieces left anyway. So what's cool too is my horse will follow me around. I love the fact that it actually does that. I'm going to have to try and start selling some of the armor pieces that I'm able to make. I also do have a work order to craft about, 15 gold moles, but 20 iron hatchets as well. So I need to make sure I stay on top of that. It's a good way to get you money, and it's an even better way to get you some recipes too for those work orders. Whoops, hold on. I'm trying to go to the bank. Not a lot of people doing the training dummies today. Interesting. That's where you usually start when it comes to that kind of stuff. Okay, so now we can dump off our stuff at the bank. You know, what's cool is you can also just, like that person just did, type in bank. And boom, opens it right up for you. At first I thought this was like more of an RP thing. I was like, why are these people typing bank in chat? Huh, that's silly. And then I actually did it, and I was like, that's genius right there. All right, so let's see. I'm going to dump this in here. I'm going to go ahead and grab like, probably going to grab the copper this time around, actually. You got to be careful when it comes to grabbing this stuff too, because sometimes it'll actually drop on the floor accidentally. You got to right click and grab it for the most part if you want to be safe about it, because otherwise you never know what could happen there. I've also got the scale helmet and the scale chest piece recipe that I need to get sold as soon as possible. Is this an empty bottle? Oh god, it's blood. Alright, I don't want that. Can't see myself needing that anytime soon. Thank you very much though. But as you can see, the Legends of Aria game, it's a wide open world. The map itself, as we said before, there's only certain PvP zones now. It's basically been moved all the way to the west. Not even this area that you would kind of assume would be PvP is a PvP area anymore. And this area, which hasn't been released yet, might be another PvP area. Really just want to see them kind of add more PvP areas overall. Maybe have like a I don't know. I think Albion pretty much did it a pretty good way where, you know, if you have green zones, zones like this that are completely safe, then you have yellow zones, zones that you can get attacked in, but you might not drop that much stuff or only drop like a few items or maybe one item. And then, you know, the red zones that are the really dangerous ones. You could drop everything in. Look, red man. And then the black zones, which of course that is just next level stuff right there. But we'll see what happens. It's still early, but I'm betting it's probably not going to be changed anytime soon on the official server at the very least. Time to craft some copper. Ooh, that bone thing he had on his back looked awesome. I'm feeling a whole lot better about my setup overall with this helmet on. I mean, I'm in love with this helmet already. I kind of want to go to war, you know? I'm going to probably use Warhammers. I want to be like Gendry in Game of Thrones before they ruined that entire show. And I want to actually just like train hammers. Quite literally. I'm just so jealous of that man and his red name. There we go. It looks like we got all 20 now. And now we're just going to go ahead and hand this one in. We go to About Craft Orders. I've completed an order. And boom, right then and there. Gives you a coin purse. Really nice coin purse. Gives you usually a recipe as well. For the katana, which I already had. Dang. And then it gives you, sometimes it gives you a rune as well, which is pretty cool to have as well. Damage rune of Ishi. So it only works on bows, but you can use this to get extra stats on your weapons as well. Really good for if you want to sell weapons. You can kind of, you know, spruce it up just a little bit. I've been collecting these wherever I can. And now what I want to do is I want to get into the work order. Oops. Only thing I wish is that they gave you experience for these, but if they did, I guess it'd be kind of powerful to do that too. 60 iron katanas. I might actually be able to do that. That sounds fun. Hold on. I got to check the skills and how much it costs for that. 30 blacksmithing, 60 iron katanas over, well, copper pitchfork. Because if it's a higher skill, that might give me more rewards. 35. Oh, copper. Yeah, copper would be right where I need it to be. So let me see how many he wanted again, because you can only take a certain amount of these at a time. 15 copper pitchforks. The maces would be easier, but I feel better about doing the pitchforks. Okay, so now I just basically have to go ahead and do these ones up. And we're good. Before we do that, though, I'll just go ahead and do some mining really quick. Just to showcase that off a little bit so I'm not sitting here the whole time. I'm trying to work my way up to a house slowly but surely, but you know, it's a long process unless you know exactly what to do and where to go. And then sometimes people can funnel money into each other and things of that nature. So I didn't spend the last 6 months like learning that kind of stuff. I actually wanted to wait because I figured since there was going to be a wipe anyway, which on the other servers there wasn't a wipe, but this new server came out, so I was like, I might as well. But I did not learn the tricks of the trade, so on that count, I'm running the same speed as a lot of other people as well. Keeping that in there for now because I have a attunement for that for that Warhammer. I like the look of it. I'm gonna go ahead and combine my coins together. I actually went out and, since I bought a bunch of recipes earlier, I was left with not that much coin in my bag. But I definitely want to make sure I store these recipe books. The work orders with me and the cobalt ore. I'm going to need all the cobalt I can get. Because I'm already replacing gold and I haven't made that much gold yet. Well, gold ore rather. And I'm already getting to cobalt levels of stuff. So I need to make sure I'm careful with what I use. And I'll put that in there for right now. Okay, so we can go ahead and do a quick crafting run. I'll bring my horse with me. Now, typically, I've been heading out west. Everybody in the area, because as you can see, the resources, they aren't finite, but they do take a little bit of time to respawn. Right. So sometimes you have to go a little bit out of the way to get your resources. Now, I haven't found anything to the south, but I'm looking forward to exploring down there. Actually, we might be able to do that right now, to be honest with you, since for the most part, this area is relatively safe as well. I should definitely buy one of those horses. I'll do it on the way back. Because I'm going to need multiples just in case. Although those ones, I don't know if I can put saddlebags on those per se, because they go back to the statue form. So there's that. Because whenever for instance, when I got this horse, I bought it off of a friend. It goes back into statue form whenever I get off it. So I don't know how that'll work with the saddlebags as well. It might have to be a tamed horse. There we go. You'll see a couple people just running around with the horses trotting behind them, or, you know, rats or these hinds or even the wolves themselves. people that are working on their taming levels. I remember seeing back in the, yep, case in point right there. See, and that'd be somebody that you might want to buy a horse from, or maybe even you might give one away to you if you're sitting in the right spot at the right time. These hired merchants, these are what players are starting to get now. These are called land plots. And basically what these are is that players can claim land on these areas and then also place down houses if they want to. But also before that, they can make markets rather, and then just make money off of that too, like passive income. People, players passing by, buying stuff from the market. That's what I did earlier actually too. You'll see a bunch of random animals out in the world as well. So it's you know, it's a humble game. It's like a not too far out there, not too bad kind of thing. It's just kind of like in the middle, I would say, for the most part. It can definitely provide a good experience though. A lot of these kinds of games can, and when it comes to the sandboxes, we don't get a lot of them these days that actually go anywhere. So this game can definitely go farther than most in that regard, which is a good thing at least. I'm guessing, oh, Mount Eris. This sounds like somewhere that might have a mine. And that looks to be like a mine from what I can see on the minimap here. Anytime you got something that looks like that, that pretty much spells out mine. But the only question is which way you enter from. I'm guessing we can enter from this direction, like if we go around. Let's find out. Yeah, because we're on like the back side of the mine. Oh, yeah. Oh, banditos. Okay. You'll see a lot of that out in the world. You'll see some pretty dangerous creatures as well. Oh, I forgot to mention, that's right. I remember seeing in the private servers and things of that nature that people were taming dragons. So I'm expecting to see something like that going on in the future. Probably the long future when it comes to that part. And it looks like, of course, somebody's in here already. Really not that many places to, you know, be secret, have secret anymore. But this is another place we can mine. You'll find places like this all over the place too, and you can, you know, pretty much find a plot of land almost anywhere you want outside of towns. What I'd probably do is I'd probably go somewhere that's, you know, in a lot of need of resources, and even though it'd kind of be a pain, I would probably, you know, haul stuff back and forth kind of thing. I guess to start with though, I would definitely get a house near Helm, maybe near the teleporter even, something like that. But now I can pretty much just fill up my inventory and then head on back to town and start crafting some more and fill up those work orders. And essentially it's just it's a grind up until, you know, you get that satisfaction. You know, you have to get that satisfaction out of the game. So the grind aspect kind of helps with that because it basically allows you to get better and better stuff and have deeper and deeper progression up until you're able to just basically do everything and anything you want to. Come on, you. Let's go. Nice name. So right now, I'm just gathering up this copper. My horse is actually full on storage. I could have emptied him out, but honestly, I just expected this to be a quick run anyway. Wanted to get some of that mining going a little bit. Now, in terms of my other characters, I will definitely have to start gathering on them too when it comes to the ore. I've mainly been stockpiling wood on them, but I need to start transferring that over and actually getting the wood too. That's going to really help me in the long run. I'll probably do on this account too, the second account that I have. I'm going to go ahead and log back into my lumberjack and start getting some wood on him too. Oh, not a lot of iron in here. Copper. Need some of that. Looks like he's got saddlebags too. I haven't figured out what profession is related to those saddlebags just yet, but I can only imagine it's probably either tailoring, which is one I haven't tried yet, or it's, I mean, only one I really haven't tried to be honest, so it's got to be tailoring, I'd imagine. Unless there's one more. It's probably one more. I looked through the carpentry recipes. I didn't see anything in there, and since it's bags, I would imagine it'd probably go through tailoring or, you know, like leatherworking kind of thing. Probably is that, yeah. And they're going for a pretty high price, so I can only imagine they're pretty difficult to make. But that's something that as a gatherer you really need, and then also, you know, horses in general to kind of carry your stuff around. This is always beneficial to you. And this vein has a lot more copper than I thought it did. Vitality's looking good. Agility's going down still, it looks like. That's okay. Wow, this like an infinite copper node, or what's going on here? Whoa. Crazy. I'll take that though. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my guy back in the loop here. He was doing carpentry before got distracted. I was actually making a bunch of loots. I'm trying to do carpentry work orders on him because I need to make sure that he, you know, keeps getting the furniture recipes and carpentry recipes in general. I've kind of figured out where to go and like what to look for when it comes to ash trees. Ashwood tree. I need to actually pinpoint and screenshot the locations exactly though, because ash trees are actually like the next step. Oh, finally out. Okay, but ash trees are like the next step in the carpentry line. So this is gold ore right here. Okay, it's kind of easy to identify the gold veins from the copper veins. Copper is usually green. Running throughout the veins, you'll notice like a grayish color for the iron, and then you'll notice like this yellowish tint. It's sometimes the iron and gold are a little hard to distinguish, but after a couple times, you'll start to notice really fast. Overall, what I'd love to do too, because I think for me personally, the most fun that I usually have when it comes to crafting, it's crafting weapons that people are going to use to hit each other with. So what I'm probably going to do, I might look for a PvP guild when it comes down to it, or just a guild that's planning on expanding to the dark zones, because I would absolutely love to have, you know, a house out there, be able to mine obsidian and things of that nature, because that's where I hear a lot of that stuff might come from. Probably has a lot of cobalt too. I wouldn't be surprised too in that one. And a lot of people probably don't go over to those locations. I think it's probably a really good idea to move around and not just stay in one place for too long, because you might find some really nice stuff out in the world if you actually go out and search. And that goes for hunters too, not just gatherers, but especially for hunters actually. Looks like we're starting to get some really good storage weight too. I think I started at around 300, or maybe not even that, but we're getting some really good weight increases now. I think I've even got more than my... Oh, no, I almost have more than my woodcutter. My woodcutter, for some reason, just has like a ton of space. Like, you seem to get strength way quicker or way faster doing woodcutting than mining. You just get that stat up, and then it just like wholeheartedly expands your weight entirely. Like, it's nuts. And that's pretty much like the only stat that's going up for the most part. His willpower's gone up and his constitution's gone up a little bit, but he's got like 37 strength, and I'm on like 35 right now on my character, which gives you like 4 points of weight every time you level up. One thing that I found out as well is that apparently when it comes to the skills, because we used to have it where, you know, we had a bunch of abilities that could be used from the classes, but a lot of people were wondering where they were. Well, apparently, from what I've been hearing, what I was reading, is that they changed it to where in the dark zones, like I was telling you about, they actually have it as loot. So you can actually get it through like RNG loot, basically, and then you can learn the abilities through that, which is kind of an interesting way of going about it for sure. I mean, it definitely incites conflict and gives you a reason to want to go out there and fight. That's for sure. And then also just be in those zones and stay out there. As long as there's an incentive to go into those types of zones, I think that everything could definitely work out there. It just really needs to have that incentive to begin with, though, you know? Okay, Horsey, I know. He's wanting to get back to town. Okay, we're full anyway. Here, let's see. Let me just take out this node really quick here. Just grab this, please. How much do I got here? You're not gonna be able to fit that. What about that? Aha! Got it. Okay. Just wipe out this node here. Get all that. Pick it up. Pretty much no stone left behind if we can help it. Now, I'm really curious to know how the performance on this pickaxe is going to do compared to the gold pickaxe, but that's going to be the next one I'm definitely going to go for. I'm going to go ahead and rebind these ones. Whoops. I guess we could go ahead and Hearthstone, couldn't we? And then I got these keys right here. I haven't eaten bread like at all. We started with 5 pieces of bread. I still have 4. I've only eaten 1 piece of bread in this entire time. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and hearth back. And yes, luckily the horse comes with us. I would not leave this horse behind. No way, no how. Okay. There we go. Brings us right back to the sanctuary. And as you can see, my bard is now gone. I'm on my woodcutter right now. And now all I want to do is drop off of this metal and then get ready to go ahead and start crafting my butt off. Probably going to do that for the rest of the night. Leave that stuff going and then start crafting a little bit. And then tomorrow I'll keep on mining my butt off, of course. Just keep the cycle going, pretty much. Keep on keeping on. Everything works out just fine. I would like to bank items, please. Okay, we can just go ahead and take this all to the smith. Go ahead and do it. Wait, where's the horse? Oh, wait. I'm on the horse. Sometimes I get confused when I'm like riding it and I'm like, oh my god, where is it? It's okay though, I'm ahead of myself on this one. I'm ahead of myself. One thing that's cool too is when you sell stuff to the vendors, they can actually run out of stock. Well, they can be full on stock where they can't buy any more of your items, but then they can also run out of it too. So that way the economy kind of keeps itself in check when you get into that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go over to this one, just feels better. Whoa, oh, backpack cannot hold any more weight. Hold on. Really should rename my horse. It doesn't feel right just having him be named horse. You know, maybe I should really change that. We'll see what happens there. Okay. Oh boy. Yep. I got it. I can't even put 20 in there. What am I talking about? Do 10. I don't even know if you can hold the 10, to be honest. Oh, he can. Fancy that. All right, folks. Well, you know what I'll be doing for like the next 2 hours? I'll just be hammering away right here and seeing if I can make something of myself. Gonna try to have a house at least by... Oh, that armor looks sick. Is that scale? Or is that just regular stuff? That doesn't look like what I got. Wait, hold on. He's got to be at around like 55 to have that stuff on. Let me see. Yeah, 55 at least. That looks like the iron scale leggings. The scale tunit's 55. Okay, yep, that's basically what that is. All right. Well, I got to get to that level as well. I've been slacking on this thing called work, but got to get back to it in the morning. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We'll see what happens. Anyway, folks, you guys have a wonderful night or day. Master Miner, and I'll see you next time. Later, folks. What?